lot of things I don't like the internet for, but when it comes to just crowdsourcing information, when it comes to even just the rapidly simple ability to just have an idea about something and then just go out there and fully research it, it has never been easier to do that, and it has never been better for the human race en masse, okay? Not specific applications, not certain platforms withstanding, okay? You can throw some social media garbage just completely off to the side. When it comes to, like this article is saying, using the internet mindfully, there's no other resource, okay? You can't replace internet with literally anything else and then accomplish as much in a certain amount of time as you can with the gift that has revolutionized the world, okay? And I don't even feel like I'm being hyperbolic. Here's a question worth pondering. Has the internet had an overall positive or negative impact on your life? I hope it has had, okay? And if you can look at the entirety of it in totality, it's probably had a positive impact on your life. As you read and hopefully enjoy this article and this video as well, okay, take a minute to reflect on all of that you appreciate about the internet and the benefits in your life. Do you have your favorite blogs that you follow? Hopefully it's the Don Consuelo channels. That would be great. Does the internet help you keep in touch with distant friends or family? No, I don't like any of them. How has the internet helped you save time or money, or make money even? Have you watched any good movies or television shows lately? No, because I think it's all a waste of time. Now, take another minute to think about the times when your relationships with the internet has been less than ideal. Do you ever find yourself compulsively checking for emails or news updates? Well, I hope you don't. That's a one-way ticket to mentally compromising yourself, and that's for true. Have you ever spent way more time than you expected scrolling on social media or watching videos, or just watching videos in general that are no good for you and serve absolutely zero mental benefit? I think we're all guilty of that from time to time. It's just mitigating those little distractions. Has the internet ever fed into any addictions by making them easier to access? Well, that's weird, and I hope that's not the case. I think many would agree that the internet is an amazing and powerful creation capable of delivering great benefits. They would also agree that the internet can trigger behaviors that are difficult to tame. Digital versus physical. Interesting. As someone who is curious and loves learning, nice boilerplate disclaimer, I completely resonate with the appeal of the internet as a source of knowledge. Exactly. It's the most vast swath of knowledge that has ever been afforded to human history, and likely to never be overtaken, really. Oh, that part of my personality is the reason I feel a wave of happiness when I walk into a big, beautiful library. The biggest libraries, the most beautiful. But something is fundamentally different about my relationship at the physical world of books and magazines and the digital world of blog posts and videos. Yeah, to be fair, I don't like reading anything, okay, outside of like articles where you can't get a physical copy. I don't like reading books on like a phone or a tablet or anything like that. I would much rather have the real deal, okay? But then again, audiobooks, when you have a lot of downtime, but you can't dedicate huge blocks of time actually reading, or because the human mind has been listening to things an insurmountable of time longer than it has been reading and processing information that way. If you're just looking to get through a whole bunch of information on a topic, audiobooks are obviously the more preferential way to do it. I'm just saying the way that it comes to actually reading and obtaining the information through the methods of reading, I can't think of a better terminology, so do forgive me on that one, than simply reading. I would much rather have the page in my hand and a lamp behind me and sitting in preferably a better chair than the one that's in front of me, but you know what I mean, a big comfy chair and a big beautiful library as opposed to a glowing screen in the middle of the night. Don't really much care for that. So what are some of these fundamental differences between the digital medium of the internet and the physical medium of the library or bookstore? So the author comes up with 3 here. The digital world is limitless, whereas the physical has limits. Okay, the digital world has hyperlinks and the physical world does not, so making research a little bit easier and getting to the source material, I understand. Digital world is anywhere, the physical world is somewhere, and it's only one specific place. So again, if you're just out and about with a friend and then you need to just access a random fact in any given time, you can just pull out your phone and figure it out. Or if you're sitting at a keyboard and then you just find your mind wandering and you have a song stuck in your head or something like that, and you can just immediately remedy the situation thanks to the vastness of the internet, as opposed to pulling out your record collection, throwing it down, and figuring out exactly what the song in your head is, okay? Or figuring out who the third lead in Commando was. Where have you seen him before? Too much consumption, all right? One theory of the rise of obesity, that's an interesting tangent we're going to be going down, that we are being powerfully reshaped by the physical environments. Delicious, convenient, and affordable junk food combined with significantly less need for physical activity has led to global health challenge that we now face. Very basic way of putting that. I don't think that that's all necessarily wrong or incorrect even. I'm just saying that that doesn't necessarily serve the whole as much as these are the side effects that convenience has created. But what if something similar happens to, when you give humans limitless access to the internet, the content we consume from social media to videos to news is enjoyable, accessible, and virtually free. An hour of social media might not be bad for you in the same way that excess sugar consumption might be. I would argue I was going to say something different, but it's at least on par, okay, because you're mentally decaying, especially if you're on social media. But the struggle to control it is similar. Yes, most of the neural pathways that get engaged when you're using social media is akin to an addiction. So yes, it's very much the same. Even those who wish to spend less time consuming on the internet struggle to do so because the pull of the internet is just so strong. Just as those larger factors led to the deterioration of our body, might the internet be something similar to our minds and spirits? The internet mindfully. Let's get to the 6 simple rules, shall we? Have a plan with every click. One of the most important rules is not to surf the internet. Yes, get in, get off, get out. Set a timer, all right? Browsing the internet more leisurely, perhaps checking Twitter, just disengage, could cancel your account. Your life will be better, trust me. Create self-imposed time limits for other rules too. For example, I set my phone to notify me when certain people in my inner circle email me. Yeah, just turn off email notifications, okay? Here's one way to do it, okay? This was specifically outlined in, the 4-Hour Work Week? Tim Ferriss's, probably his magnum opus, if we're being completely fair and honest about that. Having certain times every day or every week when you check emails, putting your own self-worth up front and foremost, so that you're not the beck and call of literally anybody at all times. No, if you have something that's immediately pressing and legitimately so, then obviously you should be paying attention to that. But when it comes to just the banalities of day-to-day, have a set time that you look at your email, that you do phone calls. Other than that, everything else can probably wait. Nothing can't be resolved within the next 24 hours. And most of the time, the things that are super urgent and definitely need your attention will probably resolve themselves in the next few minutes, if not the next few hours. So you can really parse out a lot of the unnecessary emails and messages by just assigning a certain amount of time every day or week. Be convinced that less is more, okay? Like a child, I used to act as more and more of my favorite things would bring me greater pleasure. That's a dangerous attitude to take. Of course, I was wrong about that, and it just feels like the first piece of dessert delivers more joy. Yes, like a crackhead constantly chasing that high. Take your leisure offline. Yeah, exactly. Rest, curiosity, and entertainment are part of a good balanced life, but the internet, unlike many offline platforms of leisure, are just too easy. Think of it as the difference between eating a candy bar and baking a gourmet cake. I hate both of those examples. The cake is an experience and it slows you down to enjoy more. I find the same thing for offline leisure activities such as books, magazines, and even going to the movie. Yeah, sure, pal. I could have saved the examples, but yeah, if you're letting yourself get wrapped up in the online medium, take some time, okay? It might take a minute to set everything up properly. Just make sure that you have ample amount of time that you can just set aside, not turn on the computer, not turn on your phone, okay? Just leave the world behind for a minute so that you can properly figure out and appreciate exactly what a great gift it is, but then at the same time also find yourself recentering around the more necessary aspects of life. Create more and consume less. Okay, if you are using the internet for, if all you're using the internet for is to consume, then you're missing out. Creating a blog with my wife, I'm sure this guy has a wife, has become one of our favorite shared hobbies. Sure, the pleasure of creating involves more effort than consuming, but once you've created a daily habit like we have, the momentum helps to push you in the right direction. One of the internet's great gifts is how many of us can now create in so many new ways. That's exactly why I never, ever, ever stop doing this stuff, because I love creating videos. I love running down, sometimes even less than stellar articles, and it's just presenting the information. All the little tips and tricks that I picked up throughout the years, I just like to put them out there. I don't even care if anybody watches, and especially on this channel. It's probably just me, but I can vocalize it, I can work through it, and hopefully one day somebody will find these. With that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.